Hey guys, we are back. I grabbed a water, so hopefully I won't lose my voice, but quite an overview so far. I think definitely a little more thorough than I've ever done before, so hopefully you all enjoy that. If it's a little long, just skip ahead to something you like, but we are starting right where we left off on Greenhouse Bench A. So come with me as I show you some of my favorite Sarracenia. So I have one Drosophilum right there, and that's just as I open the greenhouse first thing in the morning, I get hit with that beautiful scent, honey sweet Drosophilum. So, and then as you guys notice, each year I kind of clean up and repot as many Sarracenia as needed, and I sprinkle pygmy Sundews underneath. They don't always do amazing underneath, but it's kind of cool, especially the ones on the edges. You can see these Scorpioides are pretty happy. So let's start with this Leucophila Hurricane Creek Clone F, Saxapaha Clone B. This is Dirty Divisions, and it is a spectacular plant. Really nice white top and a nice pink color. I believe I made a couple hybrids with that. Then we have this beautiful Black Widow. There has been some confusion on Black Widow over the years. This one is a new arrival. This is Robert Coe's Black Widow, which is incredibly dark for me. Way darker than the one I got from Phil a little while back, so and there may be two Black Widow clones floating around. Both are amazing, but the one from Rob is breathtaking. Have this cool one. This one came from Kirk Simpson a little while back. It is cherries crossed with white walker. Just beautiful plant. White walker is actually this one right here, so always sought after and cool. This one's Autumn Sky. This one just opened, but we'll get a beautiful color. Dione, right back there's looking good. And let's see if we can fit back here. Look at this Hurricane Creek White. This is one crossed with F, and it is perfection as far as the white goes. But I think maybe my favorite Hurricane Creek clone, maybe F, it may be this one. This is A crossed with F Select. I first saw this one at Jerry's place, and I think it's a Mike Wang cross. And right now I'm having trouble remembering who I got this one from. Mike Wang. So yep, that would make sense. Okay, as we go back there, this one is a beautiful Leucophila. This one I think is MFPOS. I think this one was bred by Trey as well and named by Ray, if I remember correctly. And here's some other nice stuff. I did go through, cleaned everything up. I'll have to do a greenhouse walkthrough in the spring sometime, because sometimes the spring pictures you get a lot more of the flavas. Yeah, just kind of a different feel. I think for Sarracenia, my favorite time of the year is probably July, because you kind of get the best of both worlds. But right now is pretty cool as long as you get stuff cleaned up. This is Shylop's Lair, which is that really dark one that I actually grew from seed. It's a Black Widow crossed with Titan. Then we have Elaine's Fire and Ice, which, that is just a really dark plant. Stays white for a little while and then will fade to red in my conditions, but some people it stays a little red a little bit longer. We have October Hope right here. And this is a really cool one. Leucophila crossed with Oreo, Clone B from Europe. I need to figure out who crossed that one because it is incredible. I think Anthony Moore sent it to me. This one insanely dark flava. Another Mike Wang, so let's see what that is, because it's worth knowing, because that one, the color is just crazy. So Black Giant crossed with Burgundy Giant Select. So obviously one of Mike Wang's, who is just wild when it comes to the nice cultivars. So if it says Select, he doesn't just throw that on anything. Bukaza, which has already started to go over for me, so it looks a little feisty. Bukaza has a tendency to look a little feisty sometimes, but definitely a big one. And we have this Morii and a couple other. So here's a Drosera regia growing in between, some more of the pygmies. This is that Morii MPF crossed with Adrian Slack that I got from the Brambles, and it is just incredible. Maybe the sun shows it. Leucophila bris, so the lidless Leucophila, which is always a little bit of a battle to grow, but definitely worth it. Oh my goodness, this is the Leo Wilkerson crossed with Adrian Slack, clone A from Miroslav. In the spring, it's maybe my favorite Sarracenia, and then in the fall, it definitely has already faded a little bit. And as we come on around, we have cool ones. We have It right there, and then we have one of those like reversed veins. This one is a Mike King plant, I believe. H136. And just a really nice color and shape. This is a kind of new one. This is, what, Lobster? This one came from Manny, and it is enormous. So it's kind of like a giant Dixie lace. And as we come on around, what do we got here? Leucophila Perfect Round Red. So as you can see, there's a picture that just opened. Looks like a normal Leucophila. And then it goes perfect round and red. Crackling Rose is also hard to beat. Catron Claire. Then we got, Super Color. So this one, it gets super dark like that. And as you can see, the ones that have just opened aren't quite as dark, but they will be. Then we have Mike King H192. This one is Pink Panther. Really been into some of the pink ones this year. And this is actually one of my crosses. This is Morii crossed with Imaciricon. Let's see. So it kind of has that classic fuzziness of the Imaciricon, but man, it's a little bit wider, really nice color, and just a beauty of a plant. Then we have Rudolph II. And then this year I did something a little different. I kind of put all the perps and perp hybrids, most of them I would say, and Citacina in an area so that I could appreciate them a little bit more, because if they're mixed throughout the tall growing Sarracenia, don't appreciate them as much. So a couple that I really like here, we have the Micheliana DP, which is this one right here. I think that's from Danny Powell, so DP. Then we have Rojo Diablo from Jimmy. And here are a couple Dixie Lace hybrids that I grew from seed. Citacinas are always nice. This one's kind of a cool one. What is it? Hybrid 10 Camisole from Massimiliano. Then we have Eva. And man, all of these Purpurias just looked amazing this year. I'll probably have to spread them out a little bit, because even ones like this one's Belly of Blood, honestly you can't even appreciate it because it's growing so tight you can't see those bellies of blood. Then Brunswick Beauty is always popular. Some of the Montana. Big Gulp is kind of cool. Cordiae Adrian Slack. This is a weird one. I got it from Rob. It might be a Rob Cross or maybe Jerry, but don't know for sure. Then as we come up here, this is L1C from Uri in Italy. And it is just that beautiful pink Luke that, I mean, that's basically perfection there. Then we have a nice dragon queen from the Flytrap King. As we go, we have vampire queen, so must be the queen section over here. Then this one, it's actually a sibling of Stania, so PO1 crossed with Adrian Slack. This is, I think, either number 3 or number 13. I'll have to check exactly which one. Is it better than Stania? I don't know, but holy cow, it's amazing. Then Aluka. That's always a cool one. And then what else back in there? Some really nice stuff like Wintermute, Samson, and then these are some tuberous Sundews. So these just got moved there literally like 2 days ago, so they're just settling in. They'll start growing here very soon if they haven't already, but these look best very late in the year, December, January, because they're winter growing, of course. As we go under here, I do have another Flytrap section, so we can just give it a quick peek. These are all sales Flytraps as well, and looking pretty good even for this late in the year. Nice Tracy eye that is going over the bench there and gets me sticky every time I walk by it, but it's worth it. Another Capensis Big Pinks. Oh, this is the L133, and then here we have Candy Ghost. So Candy Ghost is this one, L133 is that one. Candy Ghost, that's just opened, and then it gets a little more pink bubble gum as it opens. And a couple nice Dan Winter. So this is Black Widow crossed with Dan Winter hybrid. I found the Dan Winter does that nice yellow golden color when used in hybrids a lot. Leah Wilkerson crossed with Dan Winter. What else? As we come on around, we have the larger Regula, which is still holding up pretty well. This one is definitely a couple years old now. I had one that lasted for, I think, 12 years at the longest, and then usually I get about 6 or 7 years out of one plant, but it's definitely a battle to grow long term and difficult from seed. Then we have this Leucophila Escambia County, biggest late season grower, which that one is a huge pitcher, and it has all these new ones just coming up now. So, oh, and Deep Throat, we can't forget that one. As we come on around, we have Purpurea Ghost, which definitely one of the lightest colored purpureas. That one I find does best in a little bit less sun, so I don't have it over with the other purpureas. It will seem to burn for me. A nice seedling that I grew. And as we come on around, we got the Alata Purple Throat. That's beautiful. Alata. Yeah, look at that. Okay, let's see. So yeah, overall, Sarracenia are looking really nice still. Great color this year. I would say not as big as normal. I have had to cut back. So the only one I have in bigger than a gallon pot this year is a Deep Throat, just because I don't have as much room for Sarracenia as I would wish. So everything else is in a gallon or less. Maybe one day I'll be able to build a bigger Sarracenia greenhouse, because again, these had a little powdery mildew on them because it was a little bit humid in this greenhouse. So let's take a step back and we will go in and do the Lowland chamber, which sometimes gets forgotten. So yeah, this is gonna be difficult to give you a really nice overview because stuff is very overgrown. So a beautiful raft there sitting on a bed of Ampullaria spotted. Then we have this just massive truncata. This is truncata C, originally from Exotica plants. And we have beautiful Nebularum, This one is the one of the best Carnivorous clones, which, yeah, really nice plant. I think its best picture is actually this one, but let's see if we can kind of get in there without hurting anything. Yeah, there we go. So good sized pitcher, not as big as my best Rob Cantley, but not bad. As we move on around, a couple nice upper pitchers on a raft that I think starts way back in that corner. Nice Alba Marginata there. And then a brand new Truncata pitcher that is just about to open. This one is Truncata D, also from Exotica. And I'm trying to see if I can reach anything else back there. I think this is a Veitchii Truncata there. And then my favorite, this is the Singapore Giant Raff. And that's a pretty good sized pitcher for Colorado. And should have some even bigger ones. I see those leaves coming up and should be massive. Then as we come on around, nice Rob Cantley there. And then a few Sundews that need a little TLC. These haven't gotten as much love recently as I would have hoped, but they are coming along. Some of like Schizandria and the Petalaris complex. Okay, then let's see. Another Truncata, which, as you guys know, you can't get too many Truncata. But then right now, man, this Rob Cantley is just spectacular. By far, that's the best picture I've ever had on Rob Cantley, and it actually flowered for me just recently, so it's a nice female clone. And then probably my two favorite clones that Sam ever made. So this is Ruby Alice. So the guys at Sarracenia Northwest sent me this one a while back. And then it took a while, and I did send them a cutting of the Hamakoa Nicole, which I think is probably my favorite hybrid Sam ever made. Although it's a little difficult to grow, difficult to root, and seems a little bit subject to rot if you don't keep it happy. Then we have a really nice Amphilaria. So this is apparently Black Miracle. This one I just repotted, so I feel like the color isn't near as good right there. But let me see if we can get a little bit further in. So there you can see it's nice and black. Beautiful plant, although again, just repotted, so I'm not gonna say it's looking its best, but anytime they form those aerial rosettes, I'm not really disappointed, that's for sure. As we come on back, what else do we got? We'll try and do a little bit over the top here, but excuse the mess here. I haven't had time to clean it up. And these are getting pretty big for in a relatively small lowland chamber. So, but yeah, at least a little overview of the lowland stuff. Obviously in Colorado, I don't have the greatest or biggest lowland collection, but still like a few, and hope to make some more hybrids, so lowland Highland hybrids, and see how those turn out in the not too distant future. Made a couple, but usually get pretty low germination rate off of that. Okay, so come on around, we will see. Okay, so just give you a little overview of some of these higher up ones. This is Cassiana Truncata, or the reverse. It was actually the first plant I ever ordered from Sam in Hawaii before I started working with him. So that one's, I've had that one quite a while. And then we have Pennywise, which is a very cool one that came from Carson a little while back, that has these awesome upper pitchers. Then we got stuff like Loei campanulata, really nice Veitchii Edwardsiana. I think I made that cross a little while back with that very long striped Veitchii. Truncata Jacquelinia I made a while back, and Veitchii there. And then this actually is a really nice Veitchii. I'll have to bring it down one of these days, but has really nice stripes when it opens and then turns super dark. Then this is the long Rob Cantley. And as we come back here, probably by biomass, the biggest plant in this greenhouse, this is Lowland truncata wide peristome. And ooh, it's nice. It just gets tons of pictures. The pictures aren't quite as big as the California Carnivorous clone, but it's a little more stout. Just a good balance. It's not as big as the giant and not as long as the wide peristome from California Carnivores, but pretty good nonetheless. Couplandii, kind of a smaller species that most people don't notice when they come to the greenhouse, but I like it, how it binds up into the rafters. Talingensis glabrata, one of the few glabrata hybrids I'm currently growing. And let's come on down and around. This one is the Alata. I think this one's still considered true Alata because it is the speckly form. And let's go down and see some Sundews. So right now, it seems like the iPhone kind of overheats a little bit after the video's been going so long, so it struggles going from close up to far away. So I probably won't do quite as much with the Sundews as I have with the nepenthes, but yeah, I've been trying to keep Sundew collection happy. Noah's been great at helping me out with that. What do we got here? So just a whole bunch of different things. Some of the pygmies over there, which are always fun. And then capensis, which is honestly by far my favorite Sundew. And I think I'm up to about 50 different varieties of capensis, give or take. And it is spectacular. Yeah, just capensis. It's easy growing, it's big, it's happy, so much fun. Okay, so I might show a little overview of the pygmies. Bear with me as it is on the ground. So yeah, some of the pygmies are just super cool. And when they're growing in this laterite, which I haven't been able to get for a few years, I think Noah and Damon bought everything available, so thanks guys. But very cool nonetheless. We'll come on around, just get a view of the other side and some of the other Sundews over here. And there they are, so always fun. And then as we come up, shoop, here is the Lowland truncata, same clone that California Carnivores has, and to this day is my tallest nepenthes pitcher I've ever grown. I think it was just at 21 inches from the base of the lid to the base of the pitcher, not including the lid, of course, because if you include the lid, it gets way bigger than that. This is a nice basal on it. This one actually flowered recently. It's going up into the rafters, and the one that was up in the rafters had my biggest pitcher. Then we have like these Spectabilis truncata. This is a beautiful male clone, and they are very long, very skinny, and super cool. Stuff here, I think this is a Platykyla crossed with Edwardsiana, or the reverse. We have Lowland Veitchii Bashiana, Veitchii Maxima A, which that's always a cool one. And it has a few nice pictures. Exotica bred it, and Mark sent me that one a few years back. And we have these beautiful truncata red crossed with Trusmatiensis. Whew, that is nice. Okay, as we go back in, a couple things back there. I think the first plant I ever ordered as a group order from Exotica, actually Ludwig from California organized that group order back in the day. And this is, what is it, Thorellii crossed with Trusmatiensis. And that was probably around 2005, 2006, if I remember right. So then let's go up, look in the rafters. Here's one of my Truncata Ephipiata crossed with Mollis. That one's coming along good. Man, look at that. I think that's really nice. And then if you look up there, it's super dark. It's one of the bongsos, one of the vichii. I think that's the akazuka. And man, this one is super long. It's spaculata crossed with Edwardsiana. Whew, that's a big one. And up in there, you see some of the other Lowii truncata wide peristome. So this one is headed up into the rafters up there. And that picture looks huge. I gotta get up there and measure it to see just how big. Okay, then we got, Spectabilis Edwardsiana. Then we got these beautiful Mollusk Edwardsiana. No, Edwardsiana mollusk, I believe. And that one has a couple pictures on it right now. Those two, one of those is just fading. But, yep, right there in the rafters. Okay, and as we come on down, we got a few vichii. So this vichii right in the middle is one of the clone A's from Red Leaf. And then this one is a clone A from Andrea. Originally from Red Leaf, but this one he sent as an unrooted cutting. Looks like it is rooted, and this will be the first new pitcher under my care. So it's a special plant. Then we have, of course, Candy Dreams, which I've seen a lot of vichii, and I don't think anything quite compares with it. Yeah, that is just absolutely perfection when it comes to vichii. Like, especially this one, I didn't plant it, but it's the other older pictures have kind of held that peristome out. So it is so wide, so dreamy, it's so candy-like. And back to that original Grex Lowii truncata. Let's see if I can sneak on around. Another Candy Dreams picture. More Candy Dreams. And then maybe my favorite non-striped vichii. This is a vichii M. And it is just spectacular. Then another giant picture on the original Grex. We also have Flava crossed with Edwardsiana. Here's another nice vichii there. I forget which clone that is. I think that one I grew from seed, actually. One of the Porcellania. This is clone 2, not the super white one, but I haven't had any great pictures on this super white one recently. Another Flava Edwardsiana. Coming on around, we got Lowii truncata. Right now I've been having misshapen ones, so we'll have to see what I can do to fix that, because they all, when they open, don't open completely. Then we have, Trusmatiensis BE Clone 1. So right there, and then it has some nice lower pictures on it. One of the Sibuensis hybrids. I'll have to look up what it is. I'm not entirely sure, but obviously a Sibuensis, and it seems big, so I don't know if it's Morelliana or something else. Then we have Lowii truncata from EP. Dom sent me that one. What else? Truncata Fipiata is back there. Bashiana vichii. Ooh, this is the other Hamada. This one is, I think that's Catapasa. Let's see. No, Hamada Lamut, crossed with Edwardsiana from Robin. So as we come on around, here's some huge pictures on the Raja. Truncata Edwardsiana. As we go here, then we'll do a quick dip down, see what's under this bench. So we have some really nice heliumphora that are the same as all the other heliumphora. Need to be divided, need to be repotted, but wow, not bad. Not bad for this time of year. They'll definitely go a little more candy apple red as the temperatures get colder. just repotted and divided McDonalday, and a couple maybe Darlingtonia intermixed, and it's definitely one of the cooler spots in the greenhouse. Folliculata, which is always spectacular and huge. Sarracenioides, but very, very cool. Okay, headed back up. A nice red leaf 86, which obviously is too complicated for me to try and say in a video. I'm not dumb. And then we got another nice Lowii Afipiata, Raja Edwardsiana. Then here's another Veitchii Edwardsiana, and some other cool things here. Nice Mollis right there. Ooh, and then one of Velosa crossed with Veitchiis, which is just spectacular. And then the one plant that kind of dried out while I was away, this is Veitchii Jeff Wong. So still looking good, but just dropped a few pictures because it dried out. It was a nice fresh new picture, but I would say not quite as big as I was having on it, but still pretty cool nonetheless. We got that Maxima Poplar Red, cut it for the first time ever, so hopefully those made it to their destination and will root. Okay, there's an upper picture of Raja Edwardsiana, and that is my clone 1 actually, and it's in flower right now. But okay, so I think we did pretty good. Another about half an hour video, but it looks like the clouds are coming in, and shockingly we will get rain again today. So it has been a very, very rainy summer here in Colorado Springs, which with all the wildfires over the years, we aren't disappointed about it. So I think we'll just kind of walk through, give the last minute or two, maybe see up in the rafters, because I can't quite see what I'm filming up there, but definitely cool to get up into the rafters, especially to clean up. I'm loving all these white pots that I switched over to last year. A lot of the reason was I was at Pearl River Exotics and they were using these white pots, and it just cleaned everything up, organized it, and honestly I just order them on Amazon. Apparently I didn't qualify quite enough for wholesale, but on Amazon they come after just a couple days. But they're pretty cool, and they come in almost any size. So if you want a 4x4 or a 12x12, like you see here are probably 3 different sizes right there. And I feel like they should keep the roots even a little bit cooler. So hopefully things will really improve probably next summer. So I'm not gonna say like stay tuned, because I probably only do one of these a year. But maybe next spring I'll try and do one. Oh, just noticing a new picture on that Trusmatiensis that I might have missed on the first time around. But as we go through, let's turn it around and we will just say, hope you guys enjoyed everything. Definitely my longest video walkthrough ever, and yeah, pretty thorough. I have enjoyed seeing some other video walkthroughs of collections recently, and even if they're long, I kind of enjoy it, so let's hope you all do as well. As we walk back, you can see I'm going from the jungle to the sunny Sarracenia side, and things are looking nice. Just a beautiful September day. Okay, we will see you all soon. Ciao, ciao.